Are we doing spoilers at this point?
Oh, yeah, sorry. There are major spoilers in all of this. Hey, everyone. I'm Sammy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lindsay.
And this is everyone's favorite BL podcast,
BL Buddies. So we are here doing our 3 favorite BLs, which encompasses drama,
BL, yeah.
all BL.
All BL things.
Yaoi, BL, everything.
Yeah. And it was tough to pick 3. And I literally was like, I texted her and I said, can we pick 3? Because I don't think I could pick just one.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to be surprised. I'm being honest. I don't think you're going to know which. Well, don't cheat. I have my paper here. Don't cheat. I feel like you're going to think of one because we had talked about it previously, saying that I think it was my favorite. And I think you said it first that it was my favorite.
Yeah.
And after thinking, I didn't put it in my top 3. Did not put it in my top 3.
Okay.
So I feel like you're gonna be surprised by that.
I think so too.
Okay. Who do you want? You want to start?
You go ahead.
I guess I'll start
because she already knows what mine are. So
I know 2 of yours.
2 of mine.
Which
I actually already talked about.
Yeah. I don't know. I mentioned mine. I think in one of our episodes. But okay. So one of my first favorites is called History 2, Crossing the Line. And I think it has a very warm place in my heart because it was the first ever BL I watched knowing what I was going into, but also not knowing what I was going into because like I had seen the fan-made videos originally. That was the first thing I ever saw, and it was by a YouTuber, Dreamy something. I'll link the videos because I literally remember the video to this day. It literally sucked me in, and that's kind of how I even knew what it was. And when I watched it, I was absolutely sold. So the synopsis, which I think is a very weird synopsis, Vicky, I don't know where you got it from, but it's in history, crossing the line. 2 stepbrothers try to repress their socially unacceptable feelings for each other, while a former volleyball player is drawn to a temperamental young player. Now, here's the thing. The stepbrothers are very much the side characters in this story. So I thought it was really weird that this synopsis is like focusing on them because they barely were in it. Like they were in it. Like it was very much but they were not the main couple. And also I don't understand the stepbrother trope in BLs, but it is very much a thing.
It's a thing.
And well,
we're definitely gonna have to do an episode on tropes.
Yeah, while I don't mind it, there are pluses and minuses to like every trope.
Yeah,
this one did it very well. I wasn't perturbed by it how I have been in other shows, and I will talk about those in other things. But this for sure was one of my favorites. Like I said, it was what really opened my eyes to like BL dramas in general. And I absolutely I loved the characters. I loved the growth of their relationships. And yeah, that was like really, I just really enjoyed everything about that show. Like, yeah, of course, plot holes. We can't, it's a BL. So I'm very much aware of plot holes, but I genuinely liked that show. I genuinely did, and it will always have a warm place in my heart. So it's definitely one of my top faves.
Okay.
How about you?
So I've talked about it before, but The Untamed, the Chinese period drama. It's 50 episodes.
I did not realize. I've never watched it.
Chinese dramas are very long.
How long are the episodes?
Like an hour. I binged it, and it took me a while to binge it. So my take on it is like you get a couple episodes in the beginning of the present time, and then you get thrown back into the past to see what actually led up to the present time. And I like the past, but like I sometimes, if I just want to watch it, I will go into when they come back to the present, and I just kind of watch the present because I like their character development in the present. It's very interesting. But okay, so The IMDb synopsis for it is The Untamed is a fantasy story set in ancient China about two young paladins who are completely opposite in character. In flashbacks, we see them as antagonistic classmates. One is a charming bad boy who can't abide by the rules. The other is the serene and shining example of wuxia manhood. Their relationship is marked by teasing and annoying incidents until they find themselves entangled in a bloody power struggle between clans. They stick together until the bad boy becomes an infamous demonologist and he gets hunted down by all the clans. The good one is forced to get in line with his clan, unable to save his friend from a tragic death. For mysterious reasons, the bad boy returns 16 years later, apparently unharmed. They reunite, joining forces to solve the mystery behind the evil events in their past. Both discover that people aren't always what they seem, including themselves. So I find it entertaining that they call Wei Wuxian the bad boy because to me he's just mischievous.
Yeah.
Which is why for a trope for the Untamed fan fictions, they usually make him a fox demon and they make Lan Wangji a dragon.
Yeah.
And it kind of definitely makes sense in that kind of a thought. But I don't think of him as a bad boy. He was just a mischievous and he had a lot of shit happen to him. So he wasn't like Vegas bad. Like he was just like
he wasn't Vegas trauma.
He wasn't like bad boy. He was just a mischievous, like mischief-ridden kid.
Yeah.
But I definitely enjoy the fighting, the fantasy elements. I mean, the whole cast can get it. They're highly attractive men. I do, again, I have a lot of Untamed fan fictions that I follow. A lot of them are when the nice land boys like gremlins. If you know, you know. There's a couple of fan fictions that do. So I just enjoy the emotional development of Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji between each other. And it's one of the BLs that has no NC scenes.
Yeah.
It's a Chinese drama.
Mm-hmm.
So they use foreshadowing. They use a lot of like the chicken scene, if you know, you know. They usually give chickens to get engaged. And at one point, Lan Wangji gets drunk and he gives Wei Wuxian chickens.
Aww.
So there's like that, and a lot of their facial expressions and the micro expressions. Wang Yibo did such a great job as being Lan Wangji. Just his facial expressions and his movements and the way he spoke to Wei Wuxian. So I think it's a very subtle thing, and I enjoy it a lot. And my husband has watched it because it's demons and monsters and fighting.
Yeah.
And he has no idea. He just thinks I'm watching a period Chinese drama. He has no idea it's a BL.
No clue.
No idea.
Man, that's how I got to play it off next time.
No idea. So
man.
So that's one of my favorites.
You know what? Honestly, from that synopsis and like the way you've described it, I would watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I just, for the most part, I'm not the biggest fan of period shows in any form, like no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Except, anything Jane Austen. Different. I guess like ancient fantasy, anything like that.
That's my love.
Yeah, see,
that's where we differ.
Yeah, we do not agree on that.
No.
I think, but you know what? Like, here's the thing. I say I don't watch it. I say I wouldn't watch it. But then if you sat me down and had me watch it, I probably would enjoy it.
Probably.
Because I do that all the time where I'm like, no, I wouldn't watch that. That's not my cup of tea. Like, that's not my thing. And then I'm like obsessed with it. Like, hello, that's how I got into F1. I'm like, what? Cars driving in circles? Hello? Why is that a thing?
Another left-hand turn.
Yeah, exactly. And then I read a book and I was like, wait, what happens? I'm like, that sounds awesome. And now I'm obsessed with F1. So, you know what? I might try The Untamed. I might do it.
Good.
And
I on Netflix.
Yes, I will do it. Okay, hold on. I have to find my next synopsis. This is my bad.
She's not ready. Mine's all in a
mine's document. Not in a document. I'm sorry.
I put on mine in a Word document.
I should have done that. I did not think this like you did.
I'm not doing synopsis for my least favorites. I'm
just say it. Yeah, because I'm not gonna. Okay, so my next favorite is Semantic Error. I was in a rut of BL until that show came out because I had read the manhwa. It hadn't come out yet. Like, it's still not done. It's still going. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, I was really into the manhwa. So when they announced that they were making it drama, I was like, absolutely put this on my list. So it came out. I waited. I had to be strong. I waited till it was all out so that I could binge it.
Yeah.
Like there were spoilers everywhere. I was trying so hard to avoid this show because I wanted to watch it in full. Mm-hmm. So, semantic error. Chu Sang-woo is a junior computer science major student who prizes reason, rules, and a rigid sense of what is right above all else. As part of his university work, he is told to work on a group project for the liberal arts, whereby the group is required to make a final presentation in order to pass the module. But as for the rest of the group, whom he knows nothing about, they have decided to leave him to do all the work on his own, and he declares to remove their names and make the presentation in his name. But little did he know that when he did this, he would deal a heavy blow to the academic prospects of a senior student named Jung Jae-young. The latter, a design major, is Chu Sang-woo's polar opposite. He's stylish, fun-loving, and above all, extraordinarily popular. Mm-hmm. He is the closest thing the college has to a superstar. But when his credit for the liberal arts project is taken away, his grand plans to study abroad are suddenly thrown up in the air. He seeks out Chu Sang-woo and is of a mind to torment him. But when the duo is forced to work together, a strange attraction starts to develop between them. This drama I love so much, not only because it has two awesome, so they're actually both idols. One was previously in a K-pop group. He's now solo, and the other one is in DKZ.
Okay.
DKZ, because there's DKB and DKZ. He's in DKZ. And it's a thing that's been coming along more prevalently in the BLs that K-pop idols are the actors in these.
I mean, after Color Rush.
Yeah, I mean, it was even before Color Rush.
They just announced something too.
Yeah, there's a bunch of idols in new shows. There's a ton of new BLs coming out, and predominantly are all male idol actors. But this one was two that I genuinely liked prior to watching the show. So I was invested in that. I was invested because it was a manhwa that I had read, and it did not disappoint. Listen, K-drama BLs, I love them, but they lack sometimes. They really do. And like I said, they're new, they're short, they're trying to fit all this information into 12 minutes, 12 episodes, whatnot. This one had me. If there was a plot hole, I still can't tell you what it is because I love that show. There definitely was plot holes, but I can't tell you a single one. I just loved it. Like, their chemistry, fantastic. Like, the scene where oh my gosh.
Are we doing spoilers at this point?
Oh yeah, sorry. There are major spoilers in all of this, but when
we really need to get better.
I know. We gotta mention spoiler. So
I mean, we should put that in the tag.
Yeah. Okay. So Jae-young, when Jae-young first sees Sang-woo, or no? Yes, I have to double check myself on this. Yeah. When Jae-young first sees Sang-woo, his reaction is, "I didn't expect you to be this handsome."
That's a nice quote.
It was beautiful. It was so it was amazing. And then like it progresses because he wants him to start calling him Hyung. And the kid's like, absolutely not. Like, you are not my family. We will never be close.
Yeah.
We're not friends. Yeah. Like, I hate you kind of thing.
Right.
But then he realizes at a point that he does want to be his friend. I say friend. He likes him. In some way, he's questioning it, but he knows he likes him at some point. And so they get into a fight, and he calls him Hyung. And the look on his face when he hears this kid call him Hyung, I was feral. I was absolutely feral. And then, like, to get him back, he would constantly call him Hyung, even though that's, like, not normal because he's younger.
Yeah. Wouldn't you call him Nong?
No, that's in Thai. No, so like it's usually like chingu or something. Like they don't really have like or like in a play word it would be dongsang, but that's like a literal younger brother.
Gotcha.
Like I mean they can play with it,
gotcha.
yeah. But like Hyung, when this show, it just hits. It just hits. No matter what time of day, season, month, year, I could go back to that show and not even bat an eye. It's so good. And another thing, because of my day job, I work for a clothing company. We have the licenses for Carhartt and Adidas. These kids were decked out in Carhartt and Adidas. Like, and literally separate. One kid was Adidas, one kid was always Carhartt. And I was just sitting there going, how do I get in on this? Like, and I embarrassingly, I don't think I ever told you this. So, I told my director of sales for Carhartt about this show. Because I said, yo, this kid is in all Carhartt.
Right.
Like, how do I get in on this? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, talk to a person we work with. She'll send you a bunch of stuff.
Oh.
And I joke, I was like, no, I'm not going to actually like ask for any of this stuff.
Right.
But he's like, no, you can ask her. She'll probably send you like free merch. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But I wanted to tell her anyway.
Right.
So I told her, and she's like, what's BL? And I'm like, oh my God, how do I explain this? She's like, I Googled it. I'm like, okay. I was like, I don't know how to tell you. Yeah. And she's like, oh, like, what do you want? And I was like, no, I don't. I just wanted to tell you guys I see all the Carhartt stuff. And she's like, oh, okay, cool, thanks. So yeah, like, I'm pretty sure most of my sales reps know that I watch BLs. But yeah, that's Samantha Guerrer. I love Samantha Guerrer. I will highly suggest it to anybody. Like that was I think the first BL that I bought merch for. I bought their photo book. I have a magazine that they were on, and it is probably one of the most popular Korean BLs. They won awards. They both won like
I need to watch that.
Like rising actors or something at these awards because of that BL. So if they make a Samantha Guerrer season 2, you know, I will be there for it. So, yeah. Okay, what's your second favorite? I knew Untamed. I know 2 of these 3. I think I know the next one.
Okay, so the next one is probably one of the most anticipated ones of the year, which was Kinforsh. The series. Nailed it. I do rewatch Kinforsh a lot. The Untamed too. So the synopsis from IQIYI, which is what it streams on, is a Thai BL drama adapted from the online novel of the same name by Dami. I apologize.
Yeah, if we pronounce things wrong, please correct us. Like, we're still learning.
So the second young master of a gang, a mafia gang in Thailand, is Kin, who was plotted by the enemy and met Porsche while trying to escape. Porsche is a college student who works in a pub as his part-time job. He happened to see Kin being chased after, but didn't plan to come forward to rescue him. However, Kin made a deal with Porsche. If Porsche would save him, he would pay money in return. Money drives Porsche, a one-time national martial arts champion, into close combat where he rescues Kin and manages to keep him out of harm's way. Porsche's good skills also made Kin want him to be his personal bodyguard. ... In addition to being pursued by Kin, Porsche is also pursued by Kin's enemies. Desperate, he has to relent his fate and become Kin's personal bodyguard. Though his heart was reluctant and he was afraid his only kin, his brother Porsche, would be involved in this madness. But God seemed to be playing tricks on him, and he was finally forced to agree to Kin and enter into his intricate family. Being a bodyguard of a gang is all about skills. During this time, Porsche also encounters various unexpected things, and the closer he got to Kin, the more hesitation he felt in his heart. But this road is not easy to walk because the various problems and obstacles that follow are testing their love, and Porsche has to face all the difficulties and strengthen his feelings for Kin.
Jesus, that is a long synopsis.
It's a long synopsis.
It's like broken down the entire show.
Yeah, but I also don't feel like it gives you a lot about the show at all.
Yeah, that's weird because it was so long, but it felt like it was only giving you a synopsis of the first episode.
Pretty much. Weird. So my take on KP is I remember being and hearing about the anticipation of it, because a lot of tropes, especially in the Thai BL world, is a lot of college and high school. And other than like, Manner of Death, which is Max Tool, who's one of my OGs. Manner of Death is up there, but it's not one of my favorites. But they kind of went adult with this, where they're not in high school, they're not in college, and it's very adult themes and emotions and situations. So I remember them talking about it, and then I remember Filmania era, and then all of the things happened with that, and it was dropped, and then Beyond Cloud picked it back up. The other day, I actually watched the trailer from Filmania and the trailer from Beyond Cloud, and I have to say that, like, while the situation was not the best for the actors and the staff, I think the Beyond Cloud version is just so much more dynamic, even just watching the trailer. The cinematography of this movie, of this show, is stunning.
Yeah.
Especially when
they put money into that show.
I mean, when they were lost in the woods, just the cinematography of them out in the wild.
I wanted to get lost in Thailand.
Right? It's beautiful. And I also think it gave them all more time to connect to their roles and to each other. Because if you watch Kin and Porsche in Filmania, like, there's attraction, but you can definitely tell that they really built it for the Beyond Cloud era.
Yeah.
And I think they also made it more mature, and there's a lot more emotion behind their feelings and their movements.
Yeah.
Especially with the NC scenes.
Yes.
Their NC scenes weren't in there just for fan service. They were in there for a point and for a purpose. A lot of stuff between Kin and Porsche, it was like an emotional release for them and a connection for them, their NC scenes. And then Vegas Pete too. There was a lot of, they were
there was definitely
like emotions and personality in there. They weren't just thrown in there. They were specifically put in there for a reason, for I think a connection between them. So I just think, like, as somebody in their 30s, like, I really connected with their emotional intelligence and their levels, and the things that they had to go through, the trials that they went through. And I also found it interesting,
even though we are not in the mob,
mafia. I also found it interesting that Kin was, a lot of them are like, they deal with their internalized homophobia, and Kin was out and proud. Like, he was like, this is me, this is how I am, and his family is supportive of him, even though they're in the mafia. So it kind of brought in that idea to where Kin didn't feel like people were going to judge him for being with Kin. Like Porsche for being with Kin. So I definitely like that aspect of it. That, like, even when, like, spoilers, like, Kin and Porsche go on a date episode, and that whole episode, except for the ending, Taiwan, you know. But just the whole date and the fact that, like, Porsche pulled his hand away from Kin, and Kin's like, "Oh no, bitch! Like, we are together.
We are dating.
We are dating. We are together. We don't have to hide anything." And I think that was very healthy.
I think that also, like, in that aspect, it makes it a norm. And, like, it normalizes it for just in general, because, like, I think, and that's another thing, is what I like about these is they try to make it the norm. They're not trying to force this kind of thing on you. It's like, no, this is a relationship, it's love, doesn't matter who it's with.
It doesn't.
And I think that's I agree. I really like
Kim Porsche did that really well.
Kim Porsche's, it's up there on my faves, but it isn't in my top 3.
And
but
I think the other thing, the casting is just amazing, and the acting was top tier. They all, like, just even if you rewatch the show, their subtle micro expressions and movements just added to the realism of it. I'm still upset about Kim Chae.
Yeah, she is.
Season 2.
Yeah. They need to be. Yeah. I was very upset about that. I think there's audio of me yelling.
I think there's
talking
audio.
about it, going, if this motherfucker breaks his heart. And I was like, I gotta find that.
And I had already watched it, and I was like,
yeah.
Yo, girl.
Yeah, she didn't say anything to that. Yeah, she didn't say anything.
Because I didn't know what to say without ruining it. But yeah, I was very upset. And I understand Kim's position. He didn't want Chae involved in the mafia. But at the same time, Porsche's involved. Literally, Porsche becomes the head of the minor family. Poor Chae is going to be screwed no matter what. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. And
she convinced me to watch it.
I did.
And, like,
and then
it was very much like... oh my god, yeah. No, it was very much like she was like, "Hey, you should watch this show," and I just went, "Okay," and I didn't. I genuinely didn't because I was like, "This doesn't like see. This is my thing. Like if you just force me to do it, I will watch it because." I was like, no, okay, whatever. Yeah, you started like I randomly would see things because there's several Instagram accounts that I love and I follow religiously. And the one I follow religiously is BL World 2.0.
Yep, I follow
and
them.
Yeah, love them. And
yeah, they are great for content.
They kept posting about, Vegas Pete and all this. I'm like, Lindsay keeps talking about it too. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna turn. Oh, and prior to that, she's like, "Here, I'll give you." I call it
IQ.
I call it icky eye. I know that's not how you say it.
IQIY.
Yeah, I don't know how you say it, but that's what I call it.
The interviews with them.
Yeah, so she sends me like her password and everything, and I'm like, okay, still not convinced to watch this show at all. Finally, I don't know what it was. I saw a Vegas Pete scene, I keep saying Vegas. Yeah, no, Vegas Pete.
Yeah.
I was saying before, what was I saying? Vegas Bible Vegas. Vegas. I saw this Vegas Pete scene, and I was like, oh, okay, okay. So I finally started watching it, and I messaged her that I finally started watching it, and I think at like, I don't even know what hour of the night I started sending her audio messages going. This man, and I sent you. I think it was my favorite quote.
Yeah,
this wasn't the fucking plan. Bible just English. Yes, and I knew I was absolutely hooked from like the second episode. I think the first episode, but I remember like Vegas had literally not said a word. He got out of a car. He just walked past them, and he was and Pete was explaining to Porsche who he was, and I went, I love him. I literally was like that. You know that there's that Dr. Phil audio on TikTok. That is your man. Yes. Look at the screen. That's him. That was me seeing Bible for the first time. And I continued to watch the show and I finished it and I was like, now I get it. I get why Lindsay was so hell-bent on me trying to watch this show. Yeah. I go back to episode 13.
The ending
probably like 15 times.
The ending for me of Bible of Vegas Pete and Mako. I just think it's adorable.
I thought it was so cute.
I mean,
did I want more? Yes. But am I happy with what I got? Also, yes.
Yeah. It was, and I mean, also what's interesting is like if you watch like behind the scenes stuff and like them talking about it, a lot of them it was their first role. Yeah. Like a big first, like Bible. Like Bible's story is amazing and he's such a good actor that I'm very like sad that he hasn't been in things before this.
No, exactly. I completely agree.
And like Appo was going to leave the business as well, and Appo was like stunning,
they all deserve the world. I stand by that.
They all are amazing people. I love the whole cast, and that's why I really want them to come to New York.
Oh my God, with this world tour. Don't lie to us and say it's a world tour and it's not actually, it's just Asia. All right. I know K-pop does that where they say they're going on a world tour and they only come to the US, but like, please don't pull a K-pop tour thing. Okay. I'm blessed to be a K-pop fan in the US, but also we're cursed to be BL fans in the US. So please, with this world tour.
I'm sorry. I need to hear Why Don't You Stay in Live? Give me Jessica singing it live.
Yeah. Oh, also, that's another thing. We're wearing BL. She made this.
Yes.
So she's very crafty, and so she made this really pretty Jeff Satter little sweatshirt hoodie thing.
Freaking
and this is actually Bright from Together. He did like an interview and he was wearing this and it happened to be on like super clearance on Amazon. Literally only this color. Every other color was $100 something. This was $40. I was like, you don't know what you're missing, Amazon. And I bought that shit so fast. So now I've got I call this my Bright shirt.
Your Bright shirt.
Whenever I'm feeling sad, I wear my Bright shirt to make me feel happy. So yeah, that's
I think as an older BL fan, I think King Porsche was great.
Yeah.
Just like Manner of
I didn't realize he was in college though.
Who?
Porsche. It said he was a university student. I thought it was his brother.
No,
because he was paying the tuition and whatnot.
Porsche was he was in his last year of high school.
And
then he was going to university.
Okay. Oh yeah, because that's what he was talking.
That's when he met.
Yes, to Kim.
Is when he was looking to see if he wanted to go to that university.
Yeah. Kim, what was his?
Kim
Wick.
Wick.
I just remember that part. So I was like, Wick, what a name! And then he showed why his name was Wick, and I was like, oh, that's creative.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's so stupid, but it was so creative.
I don't remember many plot holes in Kim Porsche. I think the biggest one for me is the end with their mom.
But that was weird. That
weird.
Whole part.
I like how Kim, like he knows everything. He's nosy.
Yeah.
How did he not know that they had a woman
in the house,
like captured
in that? But also
that
but then also the amount of times I didn't know who to actually believe ever. Between the brother and the father, like the uncle and the father, I'm like, which I think that was definitely on purpose. Yeah, I don't know. Like I genuinely still don't know if it was actually the father. If you rewatch, Porsche's memories match Gunn's story and not Korn's. Okay.
When Porsche started getting his memories back, it matches Gunn. I wouldn't be surprised if Korn is the one who shot him because Korn is a fucking mastermind and he's crazy. The whole chess game.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I feel like they were both brothers, both older, were master manipulators.
Psychological fuck up too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It really
absolutely.
Is. And then I have to say too that watching Tharn Type and Pitong in Tharn Type, and then watching him as Tankun.
Yeah.
I think Tankun was probably my favorite character.
Oh, he was great.
Because every time he was in the scene, he legit stole it.
Oh, he did.
And he was
when he blew up the thing, and then he just goes. He was perfect comedic relief.
He was
in the best sense.
I think my other part too is everyone thinks he's crazy because of what happened to him as a child. But then when everything happened with Taiwan, he was sitting there and you could see the man who was the original heir to this throne. Like he was like, I don't trust him. I trust Porsche. And I'm like, oh,
yeah, no, he
and then
really
when they
did.
were doing Pete's funeral.
Oh my god.
Are you a ghost?
Yeah, seriously. He genuinely was.
We need to move on. Yeah, but yes, I love Kim Porsche.
Yeah, clearly. And clearly it's a fan favorite for both of us because I very much like that one as well.
Last one. I'm interested to see your last one.
Oh, don't look at it.
I don't know.
Don't look at it.
Okay.
Don't look at it.
Okay.
So this one is actually okay. What do you think it is?
I have no idea. I would assume it being together.
And I knew she was gonna think that, and it's not. I know.
Especially with you're wearing your bright hoodie.
I know, I'm wearing my...
You're insulting Bright.
I was throwing her off. It's all part of the plan.
Plot twist.
It's actually a very new BL that just came out.
Oh.
And literally just finished. It's called About Youth.
Oh.
And it's a Taiwanese BL.
Interesting.
And I'm going to butcher these names, so please, I apologize, but okay. Guang is easily his high school's most popular guy, constantly drawing the attention of everyone around him. It came as no surprise when he announced that he was running for student body president. What did come as a surprise was who he was announced to run against. A quiet, almost completely unnoticeable student who spent much of his time working at his family's noodle stall. I'm not going to try. I'm just going to call him Zhang. That's the only, I'm not going to butcher his name. Zhang wasn't anyone's first choice for student body president. But what no one at the school knew was that he's the lead singer and guitarist of a band. Zhang's quiet demeanor in class is completely transformed every time he steps on stage. The complete opposite of Guang in almost every way. The two boys might have seemed like the perfect rivals in a school election, but in reality, things couldn't have been more different. Having met outside of school by chance, Guang and Zhang begin an unexpected friendship that steadily grows into something more. But how can this unlikely couple find happiness when the entire school expects them to hate each other? Now, that synopsis not actually happened in this book, in this drama at all.
What is the cover?
What?
Let me see the cover.
Oh, of the show?
Yeah. Oh, they're cute.
They are. There. So yes, they're going up against each other, but I kid you not, none of that was a major plot point of this story at all. Literally none of it. And then the side characters, they don't even mention them in the synopsis, had another brilliant plot line of they were friends outside of school. The one was older. Mm-hmm. He knew the kid. I can't remember why, but they did know each other because at one point they catch this boy's boyfriend cheating on him, essentially. But so the two main characters, yes, they are polar opposites. The one kid is very much like he works at his mother's noodle shop. The other kid is very all about school, popular, all this kind of stuff. But there was never this like animosity one to win over the other. In fact, the popular kid does not want to be president. Mm-hmm. He in fact didn't even want to run, but his parents are so gung-ho on him being this prodigal son, like he has to be the best of the best. Mm-hmm. Because they want him to go to like, you know, an Ivy League college in the States.
Sounds like
they want him they want him to like, you know, be this amazing like student because they own this company that tutors and like basically does that. Like the goal of the company is to have kids succeed, so they want their kids to succeed. Right. So that they can prove that their stuff works. Meanwhile, this kid is absolutely miserable. He hates everything. He does not want to do anything his parents are forcing him to do. Yeah. And he ends up on his birthday basically just having a breakdown. His parents don't celebrate with him. They leave. Oh. So he's by himself. So he goes to get something. He ends up stepping in dog poop. So he goes, like he's riding his bike, he steps in the dog poop, he goes into the convenience store to buy flip-flops, comes out, bike is stolen, all he has are these flip-flops, it starts pouring rain, like he's just having the worst time of it. And he bumps into this boy. Mm-hmm. This boy being, you know, the kid who works in the noodle shop and his enemy, which he really, again, was never his enemy. Mm-hmm. They bump into each other. And they literally form a friendship. Like mm-hmm. it was like a very cute friendship of like he takes him to his noodle shop because he sees that he's upset. Mm-hmm. He makes him a soup. Aww. And they bond. Mm-hmm. It was so cute. And then and it was, I think what I liked about it was the progression of their relationship. Yeah, their relationship. It was so real and wholesome. Mm-hmm. Like it was just. It's like I felt like I was literally watching like anybody I know.
It was natural.
Yeah, it was so natural, their relationship. Mm-hmm. And I loved it. It was fantastic. And the actors, top notch. Like, I mean, first of all, they're adorable. Mm-hmm. But they really personified them. I can't talk, but then the side couple. You know me with my side couples.
You do love a side. We're gonna do an episode on
on side couples, and I'm gonna be honest. That's all I support. Like, I mean, there are some major couples I do love, but if I had to pick, I pick side couples. It's just a thing. But this side couple, the kid is, you know, the one kid's in high school, the other guy's out of high school. He's part of the boys' band, mm-hmm. And he sees this. He dresses as a female. Because his boyfriend wants him to. He buys him these clothes to dress as a female. And I don't know if they don't really explain why that's a thing, but my thought process was he was cheating on this guy with a woman. So I think that in a way he was embarrassed to be seen with a man. Gotcha. And he had him dress as a woman because he does have very kind of feminine features. Gotcha. So he was dressed as a woman. He was sitting in this restaurant where the other kid was working. Okay. And then the boyfriend comes in. This kid working knows that he's cheating. The kid dressed as a woman, they get into a fight of some sort. And the coffee shop, the kid who works in the store ends up kicking out the boyfriend. Oh, his girlfriend comes in and sees that he's with this boy. Right. And she's like, you told me you stopped seeing him, blah, blah, blah. Oh. And like, you hear the people in the background going, him. And like, because he's dressed as a woman. And so this kid's embarrassed. Everyone's so then the guy kicks them out, and they form this friendship. But the scene I think that really like solidified them being just like my heart. They form this friendship and they go out. The little kid wants to go shopping. He's trying to cheer up his friend, like, get his mind off of whatever. So the one kid's trying on clothes while the other one, they had a photo booth in this clothing store. And he is in there and like the kid's like, hey, where are you? And he sees like the pictures come out. He's like, oh, these are so cute. Like, can I have one? And he's like, no, take your own pictures. He's like, I don't like taking pictures. And he's like, come on. And he pulls him in and he falls on his lap. And it was so cute. And then the pictures they took were adorable. And then like after the fact, they're like walking home and they're like talking. And the kid just mans up and makes his move. And, they're doing their thing. And the one kid goes, you need to give me time.
Right.
And the kid gets upset and runs away.
Of course.
All that. But honestly, both couples, adorable, had great, just really good chemistry. And I just can't say enough. It was genuinely, I'm telling you, it knocked together out of my faves.
Wow.
Like that's saying something. That an 8-episode, I think they maybe were 20-30 minutes long.
Oh wow.
Knocked out
together.
They really did that shit.
They did good.
Yeah. So that was my top 3. It took out together. All right, what's your final?
Okay, so my final one is something that I've enjoyed since like 2009, since I found it. It's not a drama. It's actually a manga. It's a yaoi. It's called Hanto Yaju, and the translation is called Like the Beast.
Wow,
and
what
like
a name!
The Beast. Okay, I'm gonna read the synopsis from Manga Updates. Tomohiro Ueda is content being a police officer in his neighborhood. He likes helping people, and in return, people like him. One night, he gets visited by a yakuza who turned out to be the victim of an underwear thief he caught the previous night. The yakuza is Aki Gotuda, the heir of the Gotuda group. Again, if I'm pronouncing wrong, I'm sorry. Who thanked him for catching the thief. To Tomohiro's surprise, Aki confesses that he has feelings for him. Thus starts a forbidden relationship between a police officer and a yakuza heir.
Yo, okay. I support this already.
Okay. So
enemies to lovers.
No.
What?
No. That's not the okay. So the synopsis doesn't really help much. It's a rom-com.
Shut up.
It's a rom-com. It's a romance comedy. It's hilarious.
Okay.
So, but they're NC scenes. Chef's kiss. So basically, Like the Beast is a sexual beast. And he's like, and like Tomohiro is funny because he considers Aki super cute, even though he's a yakuza heir. And yeah. So they get into a lot of hijinks of trying to keep their relationships like secret, and it's like a healthy progression. So like Tomohiro saves Aki from the underwear.
I just think that
dude's like hilarious. Obsessed with him and steals his underwear, and then he like tries to give him money, and he's like, I don't want your money, and he's like, well, you're disrespecting me. So he keeps the envelope and gives the money back. He's like, well, this is your gift, thank you. And like he falls in love with him, like he falls in love with him like immediately.
Yeah.
And Tomohiro looks like he's got stubble, he just woke up, and I'm like, oh, he loves him. But Tomohiro had only been dating women beforehand. And he's like, I don't know what to do about this. Like, let's just be friends. So there's a progression of Aki stalking him with one of his bodyguards. So like people would come to the police box and be like, there's a shady looking man over there, and it's Aki. So it's really cute that way.
Yeah.
And then they do get together, and then they just have hijinks happening.
Yeah.
Somehow Tomohiro gets hurt a couple times trying to save Aki in like these really ridiculous ways. Like Aki's mom kidnaps him.
Oh,
and then it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And like his dad, Aki's dad, the head of the mafia, the head of the yakuza group, Tomohiro just straight up looks at him and goes, I'm a cop. And he's like, oh my god, why would you say that? So the only people who know that he's a cop is the mom and the dad.
Yeah.
And they are trying so hard to make him switch to being a Yakuza, but because of how much he loves Aki, they don't get involved.
Okay.
And then other hijinks happen, like love rivals, but like Tomoharu is very much in love with Aki.
Yeah.
So like he's not looking at other people, but Aki gets jealous.
Of course.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
And again, the NC scenes are pretty like intense because again, like the Beast.
Yeah.
Aki
I again love
beast.
NC scenes in manhwa.
Yeah.
Because we get more than we do in
in drama.
In a drama.
And then Tomoharu starts to become a beast sexually because of how much appetite.
Oh, okay.
Aki
I might have to read this.
Yeah, it's really good. It's still ongoing. It's super cute. I really
still ongoing. It's been out since 2009 and it's still going.
Yeah.
God damn,
it's not done.
That's
I
crazy.
really want it to be made into an anime. Be on Cloud. Can you make another mafia police officer drama?
We're looking at you.
I think you guys would do it.
I think if you like that, you would like
a lot of
history 3 Trapped.
Does that end well?
Yes.
I thought a lot of the histories don't end
well.
only
one doesn't end well.
Oh.
Wait.
I thought a couple
quote me
of
on
them.
that. Don't quote me on that.
That's why I haven't watched
that one ends well though.
Oh, okay.
That one ends well. Make Our Days Count does not. Do not watch that one.
Okay. So yeah.
But for the most part, I think they all end pretty well.
Hanto Yoju started in 2008. It is 15 volumes, still ongoing. So it can definitely be a series and an anime, and
that's insane.
It's like it's not unhealthy either, because if you know a lot of yaoi mangas, some of them can be quite triggering and tragic. So to find one that's a rom-com like this, that just I will literally, it's like a comfort manga to me. Like I will go and reread it like 100 times. So I highly recommend Hanto Yoju. It's absolutely adorable, and
they're cute.
Yeah, that's Aki and that's Tomoharu.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my third one. Oh, I just got blinded.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
So yeah, so if you guys agree, let us know.
Yeah, have you watched any of these? Have you read that? I have not read that. I might start reading.
What are your thoughts on it? And then drop us what your favorite ones are below.
Yes.
Especially ones we haven't seen, because I totally am up to some new stuff.
Yeah, same. What else?
That's it.
Yeah. Subscribe if you like what we talk about.
Find us on our socials.
We put these follow us on our socials. We'll put all that in the description below. And like she said, tell us your faves. If you've watched the ones we've watched, do you like them as much as we do? Do you not like them? Are they your least favorite?
Oh.
I would like to know that.
Yeah, what are your least favorites?
If you like them, didn't like them. Yeah.
Give us like a hey, why?
Yeah, I would love to know.
Like them, you don't like them. It doesn't matter. You don't always have to have a why.
Yeah.
But just
sometimes you just don't like them.
Just like our obsession with Jeff Satter.
We
have his Case to 5 phones.
She's more obsessed with him than I am, but I do love him. I do appreciate
He's
Jeff.
got an amazing voice.
He does. I
still can't get over the fact that Why Don't You Stay was made 5 minutes before they started making that episode.
I had no idea.
Yeah, because this is what
I'm telling you. I said this in the first episode of this podcast. This woman, literally, the FBI should hire her to know everything and anything about like these things. Because when she gets into it, she is in. She is all in, my guy.
I just follow a lot of accounts that are like the CIA agents.
Yeah, but they're all the CIA agents, but you gather all of that
information in my mind.
Like you're the head honcho of the CIA agents. I don't know who that is. So,
I don't know if I want to be the
president, right?
I don't know.
Whoever the boss of the CIA is, that's her.
But it's amazing that they made that like right then and there, and then he built off of that for the OST.
That's insane.
And the OST is amazing. I also love Free Fall. Free Fall is a great song.
So anyway, I love how we're saying bye, but then we start talking about Jeff Satter and his music. But anyway, please like, subscribe, follow, do all the social media things that there is out there, and please either you can DM us, you can put it in the comments, your favorites, your least favorites, all that kind of stuff. We want to hear from you.
Least favorites is next.
Yes, least favorites is next. It is
please
coming
don't
up next.
Scream at me for
it. Please don't hate us. Like Listen, we're gonna explain ourselves.
All right,
We're going to explain ourselves. But it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. But all right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.